Hello everyone, welcome to the quarantine classes. Today we are going to read the first lesson from the book First Flight for class 10th. Name of the lesson is A Letter to God. The writer is G.L. Fuentes. This letter to God, or rather this lesson, tells us about the unshakable faith of a farmer. Let us read the lesson. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river, the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. So there was a single house in the valley, and it was on the top of the low hill. And from there, you could see the river and a cornfield full of ripe flowers, and that indicated that there would be a bumper harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Only little bit of rain was required for the crop to mature. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his field intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Lencho, the farmer who owned that cornfield, was just looking towards the northeastern sky in the hope that it would rain. Now we are really going to get some water, women, and he told his wife that it is about to rain. The woman who was preparing supper replied, Yes, God willing. The older boys were working the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called them all, Come for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. So they were having their dinner, and during that time itself, it started raining. In the northeast, huge mountains of cloud could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. So the whole air was filled with that smell of soil after it rains. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. He wanted to feel the rain on his body, that is why Lencho went out of his house. And when he returned, he exclaimed, These aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. And Lencho was filled with joy when he saw that they were having a good rain, and he compared the raindrops to new coins. The bigger raindrops were compared to 10-cent pieces, and the little one was compared to the 5-cent pieces. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe crops, corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. And he was very proud when he saw his crop, which was draped or surrounded by a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly his joy changed into sadness, because instead of rain, hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. The small children, they were very excited, so they just ran out in the rain to collect the hailstones. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. So Lencho was now very anxious as such what was going to happen. I hope it passes quickly, and he just hoped that the hailstone should stop falling very quickly, otherwise, his whole crop would be destroyed. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, and on the whole valley. So the whole valley was covered with the hailstones. The field was white as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plant. So nothing remained on the plant, neither the leaves nor the corns and the flowers. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness when the storm had passed. And when he saw his field with nothing in it, he was filled with unhappiness. He stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, A plague of locust would have left more than this. And he told his children, told his sons that if a swarm of locusts would have come and attacked the crop, they would have left more than this. The hail had left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one, and the whole family of Lencho mostly survived on the corn that they used to grow in their crops. And it was a very sad night for them. All our work for nothing. There's no one who could help us. We'll all go hungry this year. And the corn that was grown in Lencho's field was enough for them to survive for the whole year. But this time they would have none because the whole crop was destroyed. But in the hearts of all who all lived in solitary houses in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. But they all, especially the people who had solitary houses, single houses in the valley, they had belief and faith in one person, and that was God. They were very sure that God would help them. Don't be upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. So he says, don't worry, God is going to help us. None of us are going to die because of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Lencho was an ox. So, Lencho had always been told right from his childhood that God is the one who can see everything, everything which is seen by eyes as well as which cannot be seen. That is the deep feelings of a particular person. So he was very sure that God was going to help him. Lencho was an ox of a man. Lencho worked like an animal, working like an animal in the field, but still he knew how to write. Though Lencho was a farmer, but he was a literate one. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. So he decided that he would write a letter to God, and he started writing letter on Sunday, and he decided that he would himself carry that letter and put it in the mailbox. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So he wrote the following letter. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So he says, God, if you're not going to help me, we all are going to die because of hunger this year. I need 100 pesos. Pesos is the currency which is used in many of the Latin American countries. So he wanted 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm. Okay, so he said, he wrote down in the letter that he wanted 100 pesos so that he could sow corn again and would be able to live till the next crop came. And that was because of the hailstorm. So he requested God to give him 100 pesos so that he could sow the crop again and get corn till the next year comes, because all his corn were destroyed due to hailstorm. He wrote to God on envelope and put the letter inside. And he took an envelope, and the address that he wrote on the envelope was to God. And he placed the letter inside and, still troubled, went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. And when he reached the post office, he put a stamp and he put the envelope into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman, had also helped the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. And one of the employees, who also helped the postman, he came to his boss and he showed the letter that Lencho had posted. Never in his career as a postman he had known that address, and no one had seen such a such an address on the envelope. The postmaster and fellow also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of man who wrote this letter." And first of all, the postmaster began laughing, but then he became serious and he commended the faith that Lencho had on God. And he just wished that I also had such a faith in God like the person who has written the letter had. The postmaster was actually impressed by the faith that Lencho had in God, and he did not want Lencho to lose his faith, starting up a correspondence with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea: answer the letter. Since he did not want Lencho's faith to be shaken, he came up with an idea that an answer to the letter should be given. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it needed something more than goodwill. He was a very nice person, a very kind person. But when he opened the letter, he realized that kindness was not enough to answer that letter because there was something else in the letter: ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave a part of his salary. So, since he came to know that Lencho expected 100 pesos from God, so he asked his fellow employees to help. He also gave a part of his salary, and several friends of postmaster were also obliged to give something for an act of charity. So they considered helping Lencho and answering Lencho's letter as an act of charity, and all of them contributed as much as they could. It was impossible for them to gather together 1,000 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. And since they all did not have that much of money, 100 pesos could not be collected, and more than half of them could be collected. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing a single word as signature: God. So what he did was he put the money in the envelope, and a letter was also put inside the envelope, and the envelope and the letter had only one signature, and it was God. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. And look at the faith of Lencho. The previous Sunday he had posted a letter and he expected the reply the next Sunday, and he came a bit earlier and asked the people there whether he had any letter. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. The postman who had actually received the letter was the one to give him the reply for the letter as well. And the postmaster, he was very happy. He was contented that he had performed a good deed. He just quietly sat in his office and kept looking from there. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. And Lencho wasn't surprised when he saw the money because he had expected the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. But when he counted the money, he became very, very angry. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. He had so much of faith in God that he knew very well that God could not make mistake in counting the money, and he cannot also deny what Lencho had wanted him to give him. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. So he went to the window and asked one of the employees working there for a paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by effort he had to make to express his ideas. Lencho was very angry and he was writing a letter again. His face was wrinkled because he was very, very angry and he was summing up his feelings to put them on the paper. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. After he finished the letter, he closed the letter and then later on put a stamp on it. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. And as soon as Lencho went away from there, the postmaster went and opened the letter that had been posted by Lencho. It said, God, of the money that I asked, only 70 pesos reached me. So Lencho had written that I had asked God, I had asked you 100 pesos, but only 70 pesos have reached me. Send me the rest since I need it very much. And he again said that I want the 30 pesos also, so you please send me that much. But don't send it to me through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks, Lencho. But he said, don't send the mail through this post office because the employees of these post office are crooks. Crooks here mean they are actually cheaters. They have cheated me because he felt that the 30 pesos that were missing were taken by the post office employees. So this lesson teaches us three things. First, it shows Lencho's firm faith in God. His faith is rewarded. Though God has not rewarded his faith, it was rewarded through the helpers. Those are human beings. The second thing shows the utter innocence of the farmer Lencho. And the third, it gives a message to all of us that sometimes even your generosity will not be recognized. You might be misunderstood, like the employees of the post office were misunderstood by Lencho as a bunch of crooks. Though those people had tried their best to help out Lencho, but ultimately, in the end, in Lencho's eyes, they were cheaters, they were just a bunch of crooks. Thank you.